Exit strategies for property investors. 5 smart ways to cash out this year. Right guys, so today we're going to talk about something I don't really think that really is talked about that much, and that is when we come to exiting or having an exit strategy for our property investments, especially if we're on interest-only mortgages. And as much as we love renovating and modernising and doing all this kind of stuff with our investments, we really do need to think about what we're going to do when we do get to either the end of that mortgage term or have a long-term plan to what we're going to do, especially if we're on this interest-only mortgages. Today I just wanted to dive into 5 options or 5 ways or strategies that you could exit your property investments when it comes to the pros, the cons, and all, just have a bit of a discussion around it and what all that means if you're running a small property investment business like myself. So the first one is you could sell outright once you've finished or come to the end of whatever plan it is you've got in place for that property, and hopefully sell for a tidy profit. So the pros of that, you can get an instant cash lump sum. You have no more tenants, so therefore no more management or anything like that you have to deal with if you found that stressful. And ultimately you've got money to reinvest elsewhere, or you can just take that trip to Bali that you've always promised yourself. But then on the flip side, you've got the cons of that, which is the main one, which everyone's probably screaming, is capital gains tax. That's the silent wealth killer. And if the market's down, you might be selling at a loss, so you'll lose a bit of money there. And ultimately, you're saying goodbye to your cash flow. So yeah, it can be tempting as a small business owner to get that cash in. Obviously, if that's a strategy that's going to work for you and help you reinvest your money elsewhere, then that's going to be a plus for you. But obviously, on the other side, you're going to be saying goodbye to that regular cash flow or income that you've got coming in each and every month. So what I would say is just make sure that you check that this aligns with your property investment journey and your overall property plan. Again, I've got videos on this channel, and just make sure that it fits, it's the right fit for you. By the way, my name's Sabrina. I am literally documenting the whole of my property journey here on YouTube. I've been investing in mixed use commercial properties and converting them into residential for the past 3 years solidly, even though I've got 20 years experience as an architectural designer, and I'm documenting everything here on YouTube. So if you're liking the content so far, please comment, like and subscribe. And the next point is to refinance and pull that money out. That might be part of your plan anyway. So the pros is that obviously you're keeping your asset and you're also getting cash out as well to reinvest elsewhere. Also, there's no sale, which means no capital gains tax to pay, and ultimately this can be a way of keeping your portfolio growing and scaling. But again, on the flip side, you've got to think the cons of that is that you're going to be taking on more debt, and whatever the market dictates, rates can be brutal if they've gone up or down because of all of the market uncertainty. So you'd have to really do your research on that. And also, it's not always that easy if the property hasn't appreciated in value that much. So as I said, make sure you do all of your research. If you do need a financial advisor, you can always use Unbiased. The link to them is in the description box below. You can get your first consultation for free, and obviously everyone who signs up, I make a small commission, just so you know. It's a great way to support the channel, so thank you. But yeah, just know I am not a financial advisor, I'm not a mortgage advisor, so please do your own research when you're looking into any of these options. Obviously, the results that I get might not be the same for you as well. My mortgage advisor's details are in the description box below, so you can always use her if you want to speak to her or have a chat to her or get any advice or anything like that. So for small business owners, this can be great for growth, great for scaling. Also, just make sure you bear in mind you check your numbers, because you're going to be relying on that rental income to cover any costs, aka mortgages, insurances, things like that. So make sure you get a spreadsheet, you do all of your numbers, you know all your numbers basically. I've got some spreadsheets that are in, the link to those are in the description box below as well. I've got a property plan and I've got a sort of a financial plan as well, so that can help you manage any of your renovations and your projects and things like that, and looking at your ROI and all stuff like that as well, and also help you look at how to manage your finances too. So the link to those are in the description box below. So yeah, just make sure you know your numbers, and spreadsheets will be your best friend. Another option is a lease option agreement, but on the flip side, you're the one that enters into a lease option agreement with somebody else so that they can come to you, rent the property off you, maybe for a rent to rent or something like that, and then they can have the option to purchase the property from you later on. So it's on the other side of a lease option agreement. So the pros of that is that you're still going to be getting that regular rental income from whoever is taking on that lease option agreement. Also, it's going to delay the capital gains tax, and it can also give time for the market to correct or improve, so to speak. The cons of this would be it's going to be quite complex from a legal point of view. You're going to have to make sure that you speak to a legal representative to make sure that you've drawn up the correct contract that works for both yourself and whoever is going to be entering into that lease option agreement with you. Not everyone understands lease option agreement. Also, it's going to be a bit awkward if your buyer backs out. So for my small property investing sort of business people, this is going to be more of a soft exit strategy for you. It's going to build certainty. You're going to know roughly sort of when and where the property is going to be sold. So it's going to give you that certainty, which can be comforting to some. You're going to have to make sure that all of your legal stuff and everything is all worked out and it's top tier. The next option is going to be to convert to flip. Now this is something that probably some of you probably have that in your property plan. This is something that I want to be working more into doing. So for example, if you purchase a commercial property like what I look to do, and then convert that into residential and then flip that and sell it for a profit. And again, most of you might have that as part of your property plan anyway. But the pros to this, you can add massive value to the property, which equals massive profits. It's a faster sale turnaround and juicy profits for you. But the cons for this, the upfront costs can be quite high, and there could be uncertainties and delays or anything like that within the project stage of doing a conversion. Another con is the volatility versus sort of the demand for residential properties within a certain area. And also you need to build in your profit from the negotiation stage and try to get, if you can get it on below market value, brilliant. So for my small business owners and property investors, this is a great way to scale and get in a lot more profits into the business. You really need to know and work out the project management side of it and your exit strategy before you start and before you hand over the keys, before you even pick up the keys. So make sure that all of that is working with the project management side of things. You always need to buy with the end in mind. Another point, you could pass that on to a family member. Maybe that's your exit strategy, as is mine, to pass on to my children. So pros of this, it keeps things in the family. It's great for legacy planning and something to build wealth, as mine is for children or all the members of your family. But you need to structure it right when it comes to tax. The cons of this is it could cause drama within your family. It still counts as obviously disposal in terms of HMRC, so tax, inheritance tax and all of that lot. And also, not everyone wants to be a landlord, so maybe in the future your children don't want to be a landlord, so that's something to consider as well. And for the best strategy of all, which also allows me to pay off the interest-only mortgage at the same time, build a retirement fund to retire on, and also keep the asset, watch this video next. Thanks guys, bye.